Attorney General Bondi, I think you and pretty much everybody else here and throughout the country believes that convicted sex offenders don't deserve special treatment or privileges in prison. And yet Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, received perk after perk in prison. In July, she had a 2-day interview with your deputy and President Trump's former defense attorney, Todd Blanche. Just days after that, Maxwell was transferred from a federal correctional institution in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas, which she, as a sex offender, would normally be ineligible for. At this new facility, as the ranking member talked about, and by the way, it's nicknamed Club Fed, we've heard reports that she's been afforded special privileges: puppy time, private workouts, personal mail, secretarial services. Attorney General Bondi, does a convicted sex offender like Ghislaine Maxwell deserve special treatment and privileges in prison? Yes or no?
Let me be crystal clear on this. No. And
Thank you.
Let me keep going. No, let me keep going.
Perfect. Well, I
did not know she was being transferred.
I asked you yes or no.
She was not transferred to a lower level.
Mr. Chairman, please stop the clock and remind the witness of the rules. One rule she needs to understand.
And I'm glad that we're agreeing. So when we're agreeing, we can move on to some other things. But I want you to know that every time she does get these perks, and it's been publicly reported, that the folks she's abused, the survivors who are sitting here, they see themselves as being denied justice. They feel re-traumatized. And I'm glad that we agree on that. But she should not be in that prison. And she needs to be moved back to a maximum security prison as soon as possible. But what she has told another committee here is that she won't cooperate with them unless she gets clemency from Donald Trump. It's just crazy to consider that she can be wielding this kind of influence within the administration. But that begs the question, who ordered her to be transferred to the minimum security prison that she was ineligible for? Who signed off on the special privileges? Was it Mr. Blanche? Was it one of your other subordinates? So please, can you tell us who sent her there, since you don't agree she should be there?
I said I do not agree she should receive special treatment. She was transferred, I learned after the fact, to the same level facility, and that is a question for the Bureau of Prisons. I was not involved in that at all. The same level facility, I don't know why, but instead of talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, who hopefully will die in prison, you should be talking about Irina Zarutska.
I have a couple of
died on a subway.
Right, and I absolutely—
You don't talk about that.
I have been talking about it and actually helping with these issues. But we're going to move back to you.
I bet we are.
Yes, of course, because you're here to testify. That's what the whole point of this endeavor is. So of course we're moving back to you. It is all about you. So as we've heard, she took the fifth in response to every single question in that committee hearing. And her lawyer dangled the offer of clemency. Should Donald Trump pardon or commute her sentence? Should she be released from prison, yes or no? You said you hope she dies there, so I'm hoping the answer is no.
I already answered that question.
Good, I'm very glad. I really like this bipartisan agreement about what should happen.
Well, when it agrees with you, but you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You don't want to talk about
I talk about
murdered
her all
by
the
a
time,
violent crime
but I am not here to testify before Congress. You are. That is your job today.
You're
That's what you're getting paid for.
With attack.
So I want you to know that your own DOJ employee, he's recently been demoted and had some other problems, advises on pardons. Do you think he will be advising Mr. Trump on any kind of clemency or pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I'm not going to speculate, and you couldn't even identify properly. That's why you don't want to talk about Irina Zarutska. You couldn't properly identify her relative.
I absolutely
it's embarrassing.
Have been, and her family, by the way, appreciates all of the condolences, all of the help, everything that our law enforcement in North Carolina has been doing to help her family. Her family feels well treated. Thank you, and I yield back.
This young lady yields back. Gentleman from California is recognized.
I'd ask unanimous consent to enter into the record an article by former Attorney General William P. Barr entitled, "Why Pam Bondi Didn't Publish All the Epstein Files in 30 Days. The answer is simple. It was not possible," from the Wall Street Journal.
Well said. Without objection, the gentlelady from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
May I respond 20 seconds to something that Congresswoman Ross said?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. She also opposed a sex offender registry as head of North Carolina ACLU. Thank you.
The application of federal correctional protocols requires absolute systemic uniformity to ensure high-profile sex offenders are barred from low-security facility placement. Representative Deborah Ross initiated a strict compliance audit of Attorney General Pam Bondi, targeting an irregular lateral transfer matrix involving Jeffrey Epstein's primary co-conspirator. The record indicates that following a 48-hour interview with Deputy AG Todd Blanche, Maxwell was transitioned from an FCI in Florida to a localized minimum security camp in Texas. This specific facility tier typically operates under an explicit exclusion metric for individuals carrying sex offender classification variables, yet reports indicate the subject was granted localized system access to specialized wellness amenities, personal mail processing, and administrative clerical services. This institutional friction point reveals a significant tracking disconnect regarding post-facto administrative awareness. Under direct cross-examination regarding who authorized these specific institutional exceptions, the witness executed a defensive perimeter maneuver. Bondi stated on the record that her office possessed zero active telemetry regarding the transfer sequence until after its completion, categorizing the event as an isolated metric under the sole jurisdiction of the Bureau of Prisons. To validate this defensive posture, allies entered a Wall Street Journal brief by former AG William Barr into the record, attempting to mathematically prove that a comprehensive asset log publication within a 30-day constraint was operationally impossible. The deposition rapidly shifted toward future executive action parameters and clemency vulnerabilities. The panel entered evidence showing that the inmate had systematically executed Fifth Amendment privileges before secondary oversight committees, while her legal representatives explicitly linked future data disclosures to a localized clemency request from the executive branch. When audited on whether a subordinate DOJ pardon advisor would review a commutation profile for the inmate, the witness refused to provide a forward-looking projection, stating she would not speculate on executive outcomes. The sequence concluded with a procedural countermotion highlighting past baseline policy positions held by the cross-examiner regarding registry compliance metrics. They are utilizing administrative silo strategies to deflect responsibility for irregular inmate tracking logs, while high-level convicts attempt to leverage data withholding for clemency metrics. Smash the like button, leave your rigorous data breakdown in the comments below, and subscribe to @WalterWhitePods right now. Turn on notifications to secure your access to raw, unvarnished data panels.